Okay, so get this. Today we are diving deep into some of history's weirdest and most wonderful moments.
I am ready.
Right, like get ready to have your mind blown.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're minding this podcast called Wacky Wonders
Yeah.
for like the most random but interesting historical tidbits.
I love that.
The stuff that makes you go like, wait, really?
Yeah.
That actually happened.
That's the best kind of history.
Exactly. Okay, so first up, I got to talk about this. New Zealand.
Okay.
They were the first country
Oh, wow.
in the world to grant women the right to vote,
Really?
like full suffrage, all the way back in 1893.
Wow, I did not know that.
1893, that's 27 years,
That's amazing.
and before the U.S.
Wow.
So what was going on over there? What made New Zealand such a pioneer in this area?
It's really quite fascinating. New Zealand had a very unique path to suffrage.
Yeah.
Of course, there was the really hard work of incredible suffragists like Kate Shepherd.
Yeah?
But there were other elements going on there, too. They had a more egalitarian social structure than a lot of European nations at the time.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there was this growing concern for social justice, partly fueled by the rise of the labor movement.
Ah, okay.
So all of these elements created the perfect environment for that kind of progressive change to happen.
I see. So it's like all these factors just came together at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, now let's go from groundbreaking social change to a birth story that's kind of out there.
Okay.
Winston Churchill.
Okay.
The legendary British Prime Minister
Yeah.
was born in a ladies' room during a dance.
No way.
I know, I
Yeah.
can't help but imagine. Like, everyone's dancing, and then,
Oof.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, a future prime minister makes his grand entrance.
Yeah. That's too funny.
It kind of seems fitting for him, though, right? Like, given his personality.
Totally. When you think about his later life, his love of dramatic speeches,
Okay.
leading during wartime, his sheer force of will. It's like that unconventional beginning was foreshadowing for his whole life,
Totally. Makes you wonder if maybe there's something to be said about those kind of beginnings. Right. Okay, well, now we're going to switch gears entirely.
Okay.
Ancient Rome. Imagine being a gladiator,
Oh, wow.
fighting for your life.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Gruesome.
It's dangerous.
Mhm.
Survival is never guaranteed.
Absolutely.
But get this. Retired gladiators, right? Those who made it out alive,
Lucky them.
they sometimes received wooden swords as trophies.
Really?
I know. Wooden swords.
I would think they would want something a bit more, I don't know, flashy.
Yeah, right. It's not exactly the most intimidating weapon.
No, it's not. It's like the opposite.
So what's the story there?
It's all about the symbolism. You see, the wooden sword, it stood for freedom, a life outside of the arena.
I
So
see.
for a gladiator to get that, it meant they had cheated death, they had to earn their freedom, and they could finally put down their arms and go live a new life.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
To go from constantly fighting for your life to this symbol of peace and freedom.
Yeah, it must have been quite a moment for them.
Absolutely. All right, this next one takes us to ancient Egypt, the land of pharaohs and pyramids,
Love it.
a civilization that was so advanced for its time.
Way ahead of their time.
But here's the fact that's really interesting. They had a hieroglyph for brain,
Okay.
but they believed the heart
Mhm.
was the center of intelligence and thoughts and emotions, not the brain.
Interesting.
So why the heart and not the brain? Like, do they have any reasons for thinking this?
It all comes down to their beliefs about the human soul and the afterlife.
Okay.
They thought the heart was the core of a person,
Yeah.
had to be preserved for the afterlife, and the
Mhm.
brain. Well, they knew it was there, but they didn't really understand it the way we do today.
Right.
It's amazing to see how our understanding has evolved so much over time, isn't it?
It really shows you how much our perspectives have changed.
For sure.
All right. Last but not least,
Hit me with it.
we have a story that sounds like it came straight out of a movie.
Ooh, I love these.
Julius Caesar, the powerful Roman general, was kidnapped by pirates.
What?
I know, right? You think you've heard it all, and then history throws you a curveball like this.
Never know what to expect.
Exactly. So how did this even happen? Like, how did they pull that off?
These pirates were bold.
Yeah,
They weren't intimidated by Caesar at all. They saw a chance and they took it.
I guess I can respect that.
Yeah.
So he paid the ransom, and that was it.
Well, not quite.
Hmm.
Caesar, he was a man who did not forget a slight. He got a fleet together, hunted those pirates down, and made sure they faced Roman justice.
Ooh.
It was a very clear message. You don't mess with Caesar.
So classic Caesar. Out of all the facts we've dug up today, that one's got to be my favorite.
Yeah.
What about you? Which one really stuck with you?
I think for me, it's the wooden swords given to the retired gladiators. It's just this powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always that hope for freedom and new beginnings.
I totally agree. It's amazing how these little historical oddities can teach us so much about different cultures
Yeah.
and different times.
It's fascinating.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's weird side, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have a whole world of fascinating topics just waiting to be explored,
That we do.
and we can't wait to share them all with you.
Until next time.
See you then.